Hello, big up, big up. Can you hear me, Tims?
Yeah, I got you. How are you, man?
Yeah, one sec. Think, because I know that you can hear me. I just can't hear you. But that's hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, that was more on my side, bro. Anyway,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
up. Um, yeah, man. Welcome to Yasta TV. Today we got a match preview. With my guy Timmy. Big up Timmy, man. What are you saying?
Big up the chat.
Yeah,
Not much, man. Thanks for having me on the chat. Yeah, first time on here.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching Chelsea since I was a little youth, bro. Little youth. My uncle
Yeah.
got me watching it, and we're watching since then. So I'm excited to be here.
Nah, you're good, bro. You're good. You know what it is? You're actually my first guest. I ain't not no guest because I ain't tried this software thing, innit? So I was like, yeah, let me
Yeah,
try it. But I was like, yeah, man, because I was supposed to do with Guru, Guru, innit? The match they do.
yeah,
I was supposed to do
yeah,
with
yeah,
him when we played Arsenal, and then he had a few things going on or whatever, and I was like, you know what? Nah, let me see. And then when he told me, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me just try it. But yeah. Anyway, obviously, do you want to speak a bit about obviously our last game and our form leading up to this game?
yeah, for sure. So from my perspective, I think we just got to get back to winning ways, creating chances and stuff. Especially with the last game and with Everton, we just got to make sure that our attacking players come to play. That's all that it is, really. Ipswich is now with 19th in the table. They don't have much to play for. The manager's going to get sacked pretty soon, so we should use this game to start creating some chances. Maybe start playing some players who deserve it. In terms of our form, we're steady at the moment. At least it's not terrible, but I think we can get back to the point where we're starting to dominate teams again, dominate possession, and play how we're supposed to play.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when it comes to Ipswich, bro, I watched them against Arsenal and they were poor.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? They were very poor. So for me, it was like it's an extra opportunity for us to do what we're supposed to do, which is our job, in terms of just beat them. Do you know what I mean? Just beat them.
yeah,
Let's not make it extra difficult for no reason. And yeah, man, it was it's also like a chance, isn't it, for the manager to play other players and that, especially when it comes to the amount of games that we played so far.
yeah,
And obviously 'cause how close the games are when it comes from like the Fulham game to this game. And sometimes you might be able to rotate, especially because we ain't got no Carabao Cup. We're not in that one, and you ain't got
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the other one as well. What's it called? You're not in the there's no Conference League now either, so we have a big gap
Yeah, not
now
until
to the
March.
Conference League.
Yeah, yeah,
So he has to kind of rotate to give other players a bit of opportunity and also see who can challenge who and that kind of thing. But yeah, for me it's a must win, bro. I mean,
yeah.
all three of
No,
them were must wins in terms of when you actually watch the games, you realize that we kind of should have won every single one of them, right? Everton
yeah,
one, I kind of got it because Everton usually Sean Dyche, like he's gonna stifle you on purpose. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna make it difficult.
yeah,
So it's like I kind of got that. Yeah, we might struggle a bit, especially if they just manage to kind of shut us out for a bit of the game. Because we don't.
yeah,
If you watch Liverpool, they literally create chance after chance after chance.
yeah,
The minute the ball goes to Van Dijk and then it's gone to the other side, they created a chance or had a shot. With us, it's more we waiting to unlock them or get an opportunity,
yeah.
and with that, it's like you waste time, right? Which
Yeah,
means if and obviously in football it's like wave. I know it sounds weird, yeah, wave after wave, yeah. So it could be
hmm
that you have the momentum now, but then it might swing in favor for the opposition, which we get a lot, where all of a sudden they just crossing the ball into our box, and you get those nervy moments. As a Chelsea
yeah,
fan, we're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
hopefully we don't make a mistake or concede. So
yeah,
we need to take our opportunities more when it comes to that. In terms of when we get that chance, we need to score, and this is where like a few people's frustration comes with like a Jackson or whatever. Because once you kind of waste those chances, all of a sudden you realize, oh, we got 5 minutes left, and then they start playing.
Yeah.
Nowadays we're trying to cross the ball and or he's already taken Jackson or forward. So it's like the Fulham game, I think we got the goal from Palmer and he was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that should be alright. Hope either we're gonna keep scoring in this game or just see it out. Or we
Yeah.
do what we do sometimes, which is end up giving it to the opposition. Right. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we should be alright. Especially with how early Palmer scored, it kinda brought my nerves down a little bit. Because sometimes we don't get like
Yeah.
we don't with us, bro. You watch the game, you think everything's calm, it's calm, and then you just get
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
goals. Yeah, it's weird because opposition score so quick against us. Yeah, but for some reason we don't always score those goals and get back into the game. Do you get it?
Yeah.
We don't.
We
It's
gotta wait.
weird.
We gotta wait.
So it was like, you know what? Let's just get into it and whatever. So we scored the goal, and then it was just us cruise control, just one
Yeah.
speed, just trying to just. And I'm like, it's only 1-0. We need to score another one. At least create that gap between, like a 1-0 and a 2-0 is a bit. There's a difference. We can be a bit more comfortable. There's not as much pressure on some of the defenders, and also the goalkeeper. You know, the big red flag here, the goalkeeper. We need to make
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
that we kind of get rid of our issues quickly as possible with the goalkeeper as well.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't like that. It was like we waited, wasted some of our chances that we did get. Fair enough, Leno was good, right? And then I just find our slow build up thing, and I know it's part of the Maresca ball thing, and I got no issues with it. Like in general, I have no issues with it, right? It's
Hmm.
just we need to kind of turn up the heat during a game,
Yeah.
especially when we need a goal. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what we done against Tottenham. When we went behind, we ended up saying, no, 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 no. We're taking this game to you now. Do you get it? And we just
Yeah.
kept attacking them. And it's certain
Yeah.
games when we don't do that. Because there's some of the games we just end up saying, you know what, we'll just wait. Let us find the perfect chance. And then you just end up going and going. And then time just goes by and you think, oh, we could have done more. So the Everton
Yeah.
game, I got it. But this game is just, for me, the moment, for me personally, is when we get into the second half and they came back out. I was like, yeah, it's calm because Maresca, when they usually come out in the second half, we come out strong,
Yeah.
and we didn't see that as well. And I was like, not okay. It's a bit thinking. Let's see. Hopefully, we get a goal somehow, some way, and we didn't. And then when he took off Adama Traore and brought on Wilson, is when I started to get worried because I know Wilson
Yeah.
got a delivery on him. He's gonna be more, in the pockets and that. Not like how Adama is, because Adama's more. He's gonna just keep running at you. So I quickly
Yeah.
got the plan, which was, you know what? He's going for let's tire Cucurella and see if we can get him, take him making that mistake, because we've seen that before, right? Where he
Mhm.
just runs, ends up
Yeah.
making a small mistake or runs into like a Colwell who tackles him or something. You know what I mean? And then we just get
Yeah. Yeah.
we concede the pen. It didn't happen. I was like, okay, cool. He locked him up nicely. It's good. Then we went into obviously Wilson coming on, and then it's just especially that whole game we already had issues with Gusto. So having
Yeah.
it on the other side, you knew that they can and bringing on Muniz, it was like they can deliver that ball into the box,
Yeah.
and we don't know how the partnerships are like when it comes to our centre backs. Because if you look at the centre backs, yeah, you there's always a change, except for like
Yeah.
Colwell, right? Either the left back's not there because Cucurella has something like a red card or whatever, and he's back. Sorry, like he got a suspension in his back, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
obviously Fofana's injured. He's in and out. And remember, we've played Badiashile there, we've played Tosin there. Either Badiashile, they've played that right back, so there's no continuity in the
Yeah.
centre back. So
Continuity. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was just about like um, sorry, not Badiashile, Colwell and Fofana that build that partnership and getting used to each other, whatever. And it's changed again. Obviously, it's unfortunate because the injuries, isn't it? But when you actually look at it now, you realize that we lack the leadership in when it comes to our defense. The defenders can't get confidence because the goalkeeper's the way he is, right? Because usually with goalkeepers as well, Tim, yeah, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you had an Allison or one of the good goalies in goal, you get shocked when they have a poor performance, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, he had one of those, whatever. He made a mistake. Us, it's the opposite. We expect a poor performance, but when he gets a good one, it's like, yes, he got a good
It's like
performance.
yes, it's like
Do
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's like every game we get into, just your first prayer is like, hopefully Sanchez is on, he's on a good one today. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully he doesn't cost us. And in some ways, that can trickle down to your defense because they genuinely don't know. Like usually when he goes past Van Dijk, he can be like, he got it, he got it. Do you know what I mean? At least they
Yeah.
got that bit of hope to say, our goalkeeper has it. So yeah, man, we've lost that game obviously. 2-1. Obviously, the way we lost it as well. It was one of those, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's move on.
95th minute dagger. That was one of those ones where it hurts the most.
And it's
Like
obviously
that's
a
one of the
Fulham.
yeah,
It's Fulham as well. It's not like it's any other team. And if you count it in as well, we're trying to catch up to Liverpool. So every
yeah,
point counts. Like, yes, I know that we're not really mainly in a title race. I understand that, but it's like, as a fan, you still want to be up around there. Just being around there and trying to
yeah,
guarantee that spot for top
yeah,
four, because the more the clearer you go, the more better it is when you're down below. Because you're like, even if I have a run of games or I have injuries, I'm still safe. Because you don't want
yeah,
to drop in, you don't want to drop out of the title race straight into that top four race, right?
yeah. Because
And
that's when it
and
gets
being in
bad.
the
Yeah, yeah,
middle of it as well, like
yeah,
being
yeah,
around the Fulham, sorry, Nottingham Forest and those teams. You get it. You just in that battle, and then all of a sudden, from being kind of comfortable, you're now in like a stressful race thing, right? And we don't know how the
hmm
team's gonna react to that, like the young team that we have.
yeah. No, yeah, that's true. Especially for the stretch that we were in, bro. Like I was looking at the stretch from I can't remember who it was after. We've had an easy stretch of games the last maybe let's say 5 games,
Hmm.
and I remember I think it was out of 6 games I was thinking about it. I was like I want nothing less than 15, 16 points out of it. So that's why this Ipswich is a must win because if you're going to give us the Brentfords, if you're going to give us the Ipswiches, if you're going to give us the Evertons, the Fulhams, like we got to make the most of that out of that stretch, especially after that Aston Villa performance where we came out of there alive barely. That's kind of why I was after the Fulham match. I wasn't in a very good mood because I think even we should have tried to win the Everton match, try to go 18 for 18 because that's how you win titles. You beat the small teams and then you don't lose at home.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's basically how it works. That's how it works in the Premier League, especially because now we're not dealing with Man City and Liverpool having 100 points, 97 points. I think this league is going to be won with anywhere between 85 and 90
Hmm.
points from my perspective. So I think that's very attainable by Chelsea. So I think that's why I always want to win these small games just to make sure that we're just getting the easy stuff out of the way, so that there's not too much pressure on a Manchester like a Manchester City derby or the second Arsenal game or or another United game. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. So what I done now is I've tried to bring up a the stats. I'm on the Premier League website. So I think the last time we've played against them is in 2002 because obviously they've been in the
Yeah.
championship and all than that. That game ended in a draw. So our head to head apparently is we played 10 games against each other. We drawn five, and I think we've won 4 games and they have won 1 game. So we've never lost away. Basically, we've won four at home. They've
Mhm,
won one. I was kind of just looking at, especially when it comes to Ipswich, we don't have a lot of background on them as well. But when it
mhm,
comes to their current form, they have won 1 game in five. So, so their last
mhm,
game is
mhm.
they've lost
Yeah,
against Arsenal 1-0, 4-0 against Newcastle. They've beaten Wolves 2-1, which is strange because Wolves is back now. Did I mean Wolves is
yeah.
back? Yeah, bro. Because you knew, because obviously Wolverhampton's not far from me. Yeah, from where we
Mhm.
live.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's outside of Birmingham. So like 25, 30 minutes. So I'll go there
yeah,
all the time, and then I usually meet people that support Wolverhampton, and they're telling me Gary O'Neill, we need to get rid of him. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And you look at some of the players that they have, it's way better than they're way better than that.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like, okay, cool. You know what? Maybe they do have to get rid of him. And the thing is, us Chelsea fans, we know that maybe if something doesn't work, let's try something new, innit? There's no harm in trying
Yeah,
something new. But with other clubs, it's like a big no-no, innit? Like we have to stick with him for 25 years, just because it worked with Klopp and this guy he worked with this. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
look at it like that. Whereas we're so used to change. So like,
yeah.
it's not the thing. Yeah. So they've also lost 2-1 against Bournemouth and obviously Crystal Palace. We have in our last 5 games we got 1 draw, 1 loss, and 3 wins. So so far, bro, who do you think that who would be your starting 11?
Um, my starting 11, honestly, I want to test out some people who I think deserve games.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the mistakes out of the team. So, goalkeeper, I want to try Jorgensen. I think Ipswich Town is the perfect fixture for some of the people who need time to get time. So I want to try Jorgensen. Left back Kukurea again. Um, Not a terrible performance last time. I think he'll do better this time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously Colwell Tosin, center back,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I'll have Achimpong at right back just because
yeah,
of how
yeah.
bad Gusto played.
Mm-hmm.
I was pissed. I was watching Gusto play and I just couldn't do it. Um, and then obviously we have Caicedo Enzo. Um, I think the nice thing about that pairing is that if we invert Kukurea into the midfield and we have
Yeah.
Achimpong go into the back three, then we could have Enzo kind of go a little bit more forward with Palmer and those two kind of half space slots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've heard like it depends on what's happening with Madueke. I don't think Sancho deserves another game just because of how he played.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay, yeah,
so I was thinking Neto on the left, Madueke on the right, and then obviously Jackson up top, Palmer in the 10. Um, but I don't know. It depends on how it because I think Maresca said it was a technical decision,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure about that to be honest because there's nothing really wrong with Madueke technically. It's more this season's been about how he's trained, how hard he's willing to work in training, different types of that, things like that, how he conducts himself around the ground. So if he does train better this week, which I hope he does, that he can take that spot on the right and then Neto can go on the left, and then we can have Jackson up top. Um, yeah, I think the only thing I don't think our starting 11 is as important as the way that we manage the game. I think if we
Yeah,
have another game where we can't create chances, I think we got to start thinking about draw Felix on earlier. I think we got to think about swapping wings earlier. I think we have to think about maybe getting in Kuku on earlier, like maybe keeping Jackson on. Because the thing about putting in Kuku on for Jackson is that our press just dies. So Jackson just might have to play 90 just because Nkunku just doesn't really press from the front, and that's vital for our system.
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about, like tactically for our game. What do you
Yeah.
think, man?
You see what I mean? I'll go the goalkeeper, 100. Bro, listen, I've been begging for that goalkeeper to go out at this point, innit? So the goalkeeper, I agree with. Like, I think we should make some changes, but you can make more changes in the game. So if you won the game, you can start bringing everyone that you want to play and rest everyone that you want to rest. But
Yeah.
left back, I think left back. You said Cucurella. Now I know he had a
Hmm.
rest and he had a bit of time up, but then I'm pretty sure he played in that. He played. Nah, he didn't. Okay, yeah. So I would probably go with Vega at left back.
Okay.
Keep the two centre midfielders in there. Palm in the 10. And now I'm trying to think like either I put Felix on the left
Yeah.
instead of Sancho or just keep Sancho there. For me, I would rest Neto because we all know Neto's not always,
Injury history.
rest him. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
need him, we can bring him off the bench. His performance, obviously on against Fulham, was bro. It was really good, especially considering he was really covering for Gusto at right back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, my dilemma a little bit is when it comes to right back is should we just like force this Gusto thing in terms of let him get his form back? because I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him. Because it's strange considering what he was doing from last year, right? And it's also for me
Yeah,
like his him inverting is not the one.
it's not working.
It's
It's
not
not working.
working. So how about we just invert the person on the left? Because Vega can do it because he can actually play in midfield, and he can
Yeah,
invert. So usually it's that okay, cool. We can just do it from one side, let him go overlap because it will always support our wingers anyway. It would help
yeah,
Neto more, and even if you have Madueke, who's a bit hesitant in attack sometimes, his
hmm,
decision making isn't the greatest. Him being that the overlap might actually support them with giving them a bit more time. And I've also noticed
yeah,
that like Madueke has better link up with Palmer. Right,
yeah,
the problem is just
hmm,
him on his if like individually when you look at what they do individually. Like Palmer is Palmer, but when Madueke they work good together. But what if one's gone? Palmer still plays well. It's just Madueke doesn't
yeah,
always do
yeah,
his thing.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
you can either do that or play Achimpong in terms of like for me, would I bring him off the bench? Would I start him? It just depends because we have to remember they have Omari Hutchinson
yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
have the lap. The lap's gonna cause us a lot of problems. Hopefully it doesn't, but it's like I've never seen a brother his size, yeah, do certain things that he does. Like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Either
With the
it's
ball,
just
yeah, with the
because he
ball,
got a
yeah,
bit
yeah,
of pace, not explosive pace, but you know what I mean. Like when it's okay, cool, he's galloping. You know what I mean? It's
like he can
fast.
stride, he can
He
stride,
can
yeah,
strike.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He can strike a ball. Do you know what I mean? He has that physicality as well. So we also don't want them to start saying, you know what, let's pick that guy. Because what they do,
yeah.
that's what some of the smaller teams do.
Because
They'll
because
start,
his confidence and yeah, yeah, things
yeah, and
like
then
that
it's
for
a
sure.
younger player as well. Would it be a lesson for him or would that knock off his confidence? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
if it
yeah, yeah,
doesn't work out, would that be an issue for him in the future where he now has to build it back again? Because we've seen what's happening to like a Rico Lewis on Twitter every
yeah,
time City loses. Oh, he's so rubbish and da 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 da.
yeah,
Or should we just, you know what, just throw him to the wolves and hopefully he survives? You know that what?
yeah. Because I think for me, I think the Gusto thing only works if we're gonna actually make an attacking team and have him overlap because he's shown us that he's only good in one role, which is the overlapping attacking wingback role.
Hmm.
He's not really good in that inverting into the midfield, and even with the back three, he's definitely not good with that back three.
Yeah.
So even for me, I honestly don't even really believe. I have an idea. Let me know what you think about this.
Hmm.
Um, we had Palmer playing on the right a lot last year, and it still worked. I was thinking to try and get maybe Felix into the team, but still, I like your Felix idea. By the way, I forgot about resting Neto because of injury history. But if Vega can go to the back three, and then we can have Gusto overlap, I feel like we could play Palmer on the right, have him come in because have him still have the freedom to go into the midfield, and then we can have either Joao Felix in the left half space or Nkunku in the left half space. And I feel like that
Yeah.
makes us more attacking. But we're still
Yeah.
solid at the back because we don't have to. I'm not necessarily a fan of Enzo being box to box. I like him as a deep line playmaker. So we can
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
two people in front of the back three. So if we can have Enzo and Caicedo really like more sit more, and then have Palm, we have two tens really. I feel like that our shape would be slightly better. That's just from my perspective. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because for me with the Gusto thing, first of all, it's like he is more of a traditional right back. He does what we
Yeah.
used to see from right backs when you forget about the inverting thing, right? Just go up
Hmm.
and come back. And we've seen him do it last season on the pitch. And he's the type of manager to play that kind of normal fullbacks and not really the inverted thing. He did with
Yeah.
Cucurella, but it's like his right back usually doesn't invert.
Yeah.
And it under that normal role, he's good. Once there's certain
Hmm.
footballers that just can't handle that extra information, right? They're good at
Yeah.
what they do, and you use them for that. Once you start to overload information, which is what happens when you get into midfield, they kind of. My issue with Gusto is that when he inverts, he doesn't go back into his role at the
Yeah.
right time.
Hmm.
So what ends up happening when we get the ball over the top into that right back position? Usually, what happens is someone from centre back would be covering that, right? They would
Yeah.
go across. The problem is he can either go into that centre back position to cover for Tosin, who's at right centre back, in case he doesn't
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
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 But he doesn't. He by the time he makes that decision, they're already running at us, right?
Yeah,
And they've got the two man. So I've kind of quickly realized maybe he's not the one to invert. So
yeah.
maybe we're part of the reason why he's going through what he was going in terms of he just wants to play right back at that place, right? Because even that game, I couldn't believe what it was because when I was watching the game, he was playing. He wasn't by the touchline. He was like
Hmm.
when they caught showing that camera, it was like he was a that three in the back and he's the right sided centre back. That's where he was
Yeah.
standing, and I'm like,
Hmm. Hmm.
why is that lane open? So you're almost telling
Hmm.
Robinson, we got that space over here. So either you
Wide
have to
open
go.
space. Yeah.
So and then I'm seeing Neto be a further back and whatever, and I'm like, cool. Now I'm for me, I would start Gusto and then probably take him off and bring on Achampong, right? Still give him that
Yeah.
Premier League experience and try to guarantee us the win in some ways in terms of let's not mess that back line up too much, right? Let's keep them together and let them build up their whole like chemistry and whatever. When it comes to like the two centre backs, one of our main issues, communication. There's no
Yeah.
clear communication in between them. So like Tosin doesn't know that Cole was keeping him on side. Like he doesn't really know anything when that cross comes in.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then when it comes to, I think you said something about this. You said you potentially want to play. What's his name again? Felix on the left or in the. Oh yeah, you were talking about the
I
half
was I was
spaces.
thinking Felix. Yes,
Palmer
I
on the
was thinking
right.
about Felix in the 10, Palma on the right, Gusto overlapping. It's never going to
So
happen because of
I
our
remember,
manager.
yeah,
But
yeah, because I remember watching like a show, yeah. I don't know, Rance and Bands,
oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he was talking to like Lewis at the time when we lost against Liverpool, right? Now, if you play in the 10, a lot of the times, yeah, the game can bypass you in
Hmm.
terms of like, especially if they're only using the width. And we had it, I think, as well against Everton, where because your man marked, players won't pass you the ball. So the ball just keeps going around you. You're 10, but the ball's just going everywhere except for you because you're marked. Now, a lot of people
Yeah,
say you've gone missing, but in reality, it's just, because you were marked. Sometimes they just got to trust you a bit more and try to get you on the ball because we know Palmer can just turn on
yeah.
someone or whatever, and then we can be in open space. But if that doesn't work, we can always move Palmer from the middle to the right. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Because we know that he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
play off the right. So if someone like
Hmm.
a Madueke or I don't know, Neto's a bit tired or whatever, or we want a left footed on the left, we can move Neto on the left. Sancho
Hmm.
can play on the right. Sancho can play in the 10, right?
Yeah.
And you can move Palmer on the right because he could be more effective on the wide spaces. Sorry,
Hmm.
on the what in the on the wings when we do have the balls if we are playing through the wings, and we know he can,
Yeah.
right? So that I have no issues with the right wing for Palmer. Play Felix in the middle because he's not really as good on the wings as he is in the middle, and he shoots more from outside the box. Now I know Palmer,
Hmm.
because of how unpredictable Palmer is, he can he can fake shot. He can decide to change his mind. He can, what I mean, he'll give a good ball over the top. So on that right, he's a lot more productive. Because from like some of the big games, even the Liverpool game, he was being played a lot on the left hand spaces, right? And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he was not really doing anything, right? Like you just felt like he had no one really to link up with. He did his thing. I think that pass he passed in against the Newcastle at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Oh, the
worked.
over the top. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, no, the one that went just around him,
Oh,
and
the
then
one around, the
yeah,
around to Neto. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was, and that was deeper as well. That was a really the left hand space. But it's like we know that he can actually pass. So even if you put him in certain position, he can. But I think him skipping on that left from the right, and even putting those balls over the top or having multiple options, kind of seemed to work more for him being on the right. And then he's also quite good with linking up with the right winger. So I thought, you know what, I'd rather see him a bit more on the right hand side than just in the middle.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, man. And I think striker, we have a couple options here. Now, either we start on Kunku, but then we have that press issue that you talked about, but which is a bit strange because he always used to press on the
Yeah.
was it Leipzig? Then was it like, yeah, Leipzig he was at, innit?
Yeah. At Leipzig, he used to press a bunch.
Because they used to play that Nagelsmann football and that. and that's all like
Well, because
three,
yeah,
four,
yeah,
three pressing, and do you get it? So it's not like he's not really used to the pressing thing. He just comes on and it's like a lot of the times our players do this as well outside the box, where instead of running back and trying to get the the runner into the box or whatever, they almost hope like let me wait here. If the goalkeeper punches it out, I'll get the ball and then we can
yeah.
counter. But it's like, well, you're risking potentially someone scoring here for you to
Hmm.
get the ball on the other side. So I thought, you know what? Let's just try to let's just. I think I don't know, man. I'm thinking we just play Jackson, right?
Yeah.
If he gets his goals, couple of goals, one goal, whatever it is, he gets his goals, and then we take off. We take him off and just let someone else play. Now
Hmm.
we do have that slight issue now with Nkunku, and which is you can kind of tell that he's annoyed and
Yeah,
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 he's a bit frustrated. So now I would say, cool, we can start him, but if we don't score, bring on, bring on Jackson. But the
hmm,
problem with Jackson is he's not as clinical as an Nkunku
yeah,
if it comes
yeah,
to being in that position, right? I agree that he's been great this season in terms of if you look at overall, even his shot conversion and his whatever right now is actually looking really good. I think it's 25% or whatever. Like
yeah.
he's really
Great. Yeah,
he is scoring a lot of the chances he's getting, and partly for that is because we don't really create that much. So we don't
yeah,
always leave a game saying Jackson's missed 4 or 5 chances like they do at Liverpool with Nunes.
yeah,
He'll miss like 6 clear cut chances and then end up with a loss or a draw, and they
yeah, yeah,
luckily they still win the games. So yeah, for me, I'll probably stick with Jackson. I'll play Sancho, or even, bro. At this point, it's Ipswich. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
either he mixes it up or doesn't mix it up. As long as he also gives some players the opportunity, and it's not like it doesn't become a game that it's like we're really fighting for a win. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
we exert all our energy for a game against Ipswich. That's when you become okay, cool. This is becoming a bit annoying in terms of we need to start winning, bro. You know what I mean? For me,
yeah,
this is a game to get us back to winning ways, so that's why I put it in the
yeah,
titles. I said, you know what? We've had our bit of time on messing about in terms of, we've messed about a little bit against Everton, messed about a little bit against Fulham. Now it's just let's get back to do how what we were doing beforehand, yeah. And
yeah,
this
yeah,
is the reason, bro, why we were not screaming title race, title charge, and we don't get ahead of ourselves because we can kind of
yeah,
sense it when our team's ready or not. If that even makes sense, you know what I mean? Like we're not just
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
you know what, title race, because a lot of people usually say act like you've been there, right? So if you're
yeah,
somewhere you're not ever been before, just act like you've been there. The Arsenal fans and that, as soon as they sense that they're close at the top, title race. Them
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
I'm like, bro, but what happens if you don't win it? Too much chest in the beginning ends up back hurting you. But when I say it, it's nothing to do with it's nothing to do with that chest in terms of like, I'm too scared of what's gonna happen to me if we lose. Like, not even in that sense. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I could
yeah,
do the shameless thing, just come out and say we win the title, or whatever.
yeah,
It's me adding logic, right, logic and my opinion together. And I feel like
yeah,
when they match, that's when I'm gonna say we're in the title race, and I think
yeah,
we're gonna win it.
yeah.
And I think
Because we have we. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, let's go on, go on.
No, because I think we have a model for who. Because I think for me, I don't even want to be because I was in the same way. I think for me, I wanted to be a title race because I am a Chelsea fan. And I'm used to titles, but then at the same time, I have to be a realist. Like my heart's saying we're in a title race, my mind's saying we're not. Because if you look at a team like Liverpool, they have all the control over the game that we have, but then they also have the play in both boxes. What we're missing is the play in our own 18-yard box, and we're missing the play in their 18-yard box, which means scoring goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because our midfield is good. If you look at our midfield, I think we have the best midfield in the whole league, to be honest. But if you
Yeah,
look at our center back partnership, if you look at our defenders, if you look at, like we don't really have a backup striker to Jackson who's more clinical. We don't have someone like Salah who's like we have Palmer, but Salah is a consistent ultra creator.
mm-hmm.
Palmer's still a young player, right? And there's
Yeah,
going to be games where Palmer's going to disappear because he's 22, 22, 23.
mm-hmm.
Like that's just how it works in the Premier League. So like for me, that's why I don't think we're in the title race is because and also because we aren't killers, we're not creating chances. Because if you look at Liverpool, if you look at
Exactly.
how direct they are,
Yeah.
they're killers, bro. If
Hmm.
if they face a team that's poor, 4-0, 5-0, 3-0, and we were doing that at the beginning of the season, but now people are starting to find out our tactics a little bit. If you look at
Yeah.
it, people are
Hmm.
starting to man
Hmm.
mark Palmer front and back. Next thing you know, like we're not able to make chances as much just because we're not as direct. We choose to hold the shape a little bit more, so we have a bunch of possession, but we don't necessarily make those passes that like go through the gaps of the
Which
defense.
is
Because by the time we
the
try to pass,
forward passes. I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking about. It's almost like
yeah,
we keep going save, 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 save. Do you know? You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
a
almost
hundred
like
percent.
yeah, let's go on the save option, but that's because we're not trying to. We're almost not. We're trying to keep the ball right, which is that
Yeah,
philosophy thing that they do. We need to keep the ball, keep the ball, and I'm
hmm,
like, cool, I hear it, but like, I would rather come out with a 3-0 win than
yeah,
looking at the stat sheet to see 95% possession. No
yeah,
one cares about
exactly.
really about the number of possession because the football's been watched. You watch football with your eyes. Like you look at the
Hmm.
numbers after a game and you think, I didn't watch. I didn't see that. Like, I saw X, Y,
Yeah,
and
a
Z.
hundred percent.
And sometimes it just doesn't match. It doesn't. It's not always matching numbers. So for me, we can have more possession. You might even say more shots, but sometimes you come at the Fulham game and feel like they just were all over us. But the stat sheet might
Hmm.
tell you we've had 25 shots and they had 10. But I didn't feel the 25 the same way we felt that
Yeah, yeah,
25.
because the
Do you know what
shots
I mean?
were higher value. Because their shots are higher value than ours. Our shots are
Yeah, and they might
because
calculate
it's
it.
so congested. Yeah,
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 because
yeah,
they might calculate it as big chance created, right?
yeah,
But it's like when you look at it from your aspect, from your view, you had 25 shots, but there weren't big chances created, or they might have even been big chances created. But with your eyes, those 10 were big chances created, like we almost conceded.
yeah,
So even Liverpool, when you watch them, when bro, it's like, I watched them. I think straight. What did they play straight after us? I think they played straight after the Fulham game, or
yeah,
a
yeah,
couple hours after that. Yeah, and
yeah,
bro, I just seen them just chance after chance. As soon as they get the ball, we're going to the opposition. Oh my days.
yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
You go like you just going chance after chance after chance. Salah have a shot, then it's Gakpo having a shot. The goalkeeper's just stressed. The opposition goalkeeper's making save after save. So it's like, okay, they are actually going for it, innit?
Yeah,
And yes, they might get potentially can get more injuries because of the way they play and it's like more counter attacking or whatever. But even when they are defending and holding a lead, they look chill.
yeah,
Cool. Like even today, I think they got. I think Gomez got injured today. Yeah, they downgraded from that one straight to like a. Do you know what I mean? To like Kwanzaa. You know what I mean? Kwanzaa.
yeah,
But it's like at the end of the day, though, it's like which player are you gonna get that
yeah,
can take you to the next level so that we can actually be dangerous? So is the manager playing this way because he doesn't think some of the players can do his final form system, which might be done with a better striker or whatever, better winger, right winger, X, Y, and Z, or is it just this is the actual system? Sometimes the system just shows you what players you got, right? It
I
reflects
think,
on what players you
yeah,
got.
yeah, 100%. I think for us, I think what the better player is going to be. I think Maresca plays this way because our defenses can't be trusted.
Mhm.
I think our defenders are better on the ball than they are off. If you look at our defensive positioning,
Mm-hmm.
we can't keep a line to save our lives. So we can. Someone's always got a
Yeah,
leg dangling back there. Someone's got a knee dangling back there. Someone's turned around when they shouldn't be turned around. Someone's 2 yards deeper than the other. And next thing you know, someone's bending their run, running right behind someone else that's not as deep as the other guy. Like in terms of just defensive basics, I don't think we have, and I don't think as a manager, once you get to the point where you're coaching 22, 23, 24, 25 year olds, that's how they play. That's their development. The thing about Liverpool that's different is that they have a world class center back who can marshal to the back line. We
yeah,
don't have that type of leadership. We need a world class center back, I think, because that's what liberates them to play that counter attacking football, knowing or play that direct football, knowing that they could pass it forward and they're not going to get beat over the top by someone that's supposed to be offside, but someone leaves them offside. Like Augusto stays back when he's not supposed to. He doesn't push up enough, or like a Colwell doesn't push up enough. I think for us, we just need better leadership, and I just think we need better center backs who just know what they have positionally. That's why, yeah, I think that's why Liverpool are able to play like that. I think for us, we just need a really experienced quality like center back that we can build around,
Yeah.
and I think we just need a striker, and maybe, and I think even our wingers are good enough. I think we should be good to go. Honestly, from my perspective, I think it's just the players. The manager can't play this way with our defenders and with how our attackers are moving a little bit slower.
Yeah, and also like the way they play, like the way we play, yeah, it becomes more nervy the more we pass back,
Hmm.
right? Especially with, you see, I know it's gonna sound so weird, yeah. The more I watch Tosin, the more he gives me Van Dijk vibes in terms of not
Yeah,
his ability, the way he plays, like his playing style. Before anyone eats me in the
yeah,
chat, I'm not talking about his Van Dijk level. Yeah, I'm just talking that you see how calm he is on the ball, like
yeah,
dangerously calm. Like he'll get the ball and he's
yeah,
like what they call it, nonchalant, whatever. He's just chilling,
yeah,
getting the ball, and it's like the Sass is the way other side. Remember, like the Sass,
yeah.
he's more like he gets the ball,
He's
yeah,
really
and it's like he's
anxious.
just doing this. You can see, you can feel it through the screen with the Sassy, yeah. But he's the calm one, and then you got Cole, who's a little bit erratic, but it's also calm. If that makes, because remember
Yeah,
Cole can do quite well, but he's a bit erratic as well sometimes. When he keeps people on side, or he comes out and just
yeah.
tackles people, which we saw against Liverpool as well. Yo, big up
Because
Jay, man,
Cole is
big up Jay.
erratic without the ball.
Hmm?
Because Cole, like how I would describe Cole is erratic without the ball. With the ball,
Yeah,
first touch, composure, everything. But in terms of
yeah,
positioning, in terms of
100%.
positioning as a defender, the yellow cards, penalties given, off people being played on side, all of that.
But
I
this the
think
thing
I
as well,
think
yeah. Like
that's how he is.
this the thing as well. Like when you look at like some of the players that we have, they're young, bro. And sometimes if you're
Yeah,
gonna play complicated systems, which is what some of these managers are doing, especially the Pep disciples, yeah. So the
yeah,
Maresca and all, they play systems where you need to invert, you need to be here and all that. And it's the good thing about our manager is that he has the system that creates chances, but he also allows the players to be individuals, which is
yeah,
usually what we criticize Pep for a little bit, right? And it's not just relying fully on the system, which is what Arteta does, right? But then you
yeah,
also need to have players, yeah. You also need to have players like what's his name, like that actually have individual quality. Do you get
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, big up Northside, big up Northside for the raid, man. Big up, bro. And when you look at it that way, it's like okay, cool. We have some of those players, but those younger players need. They need. It's almost like I said the same thing about Mudrik at the time. They need to have coaching because
yeah.
they might have the ability, which is why we buy them, potential and all that stuff. But you need to have, right? You need to have that ability, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And you
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
ability, but now it's almost like let me teach you what you need to do to be a better player, which is where coaching comes from, right?
yeah.
And coaching is very important. And it's like I think some of these players lack the coaching, right?
Hmm.
Especially because some of them may have played different positions when they were younger and those kind of things, right? So they get put, okay, cool, I like you as a left centre back. I'll put you on there because you got the ability and maybe you can run back quicker and X, Y, and Z, but it's still not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might still not be enough to get you over the line. So
Hmm.
I think some of those players need a bit of coaching, bro. Like a Colwell needs coaching.
Oh,
Tosin,
definitely.
Tosin seems to be he was supposed to be experienced but isn't. So obviously before, because I wanted to ask you a bit about January and transfers before we lock off the stream, yeah. And
Hmm.
first, just give me um your predictions for the game tomorrow, bro.
Predictions for the game. I think we're going to go into it measured. So I don't think we're going to batter them. To be honest, we
Yeah,
usually don't forward pass as much as I would like to. Um, 3-1. I think we're going to concede still, but I
yeah,
think 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, bro. I was thinking of that number. You said 3-1. Yeah, but I was like, cause you see me, I hate 2-1. Like I hate
Yeah, yeah,
even when
yeah, yeah.
someone says predict, yeah, I know that 2-1 safe, but I also know that it happens often, right?
Hmm.
Because you could be 2-0 ahead and concede one, or
Hmm.
you can be behind, or you know what I mean? It's like it happens. But it's like I'm looking at it like I want to be comfortable, you know what I mean? I want like a 3-0.
Yeah,
I'll go for like a 3-0. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Hopefully
yeah, yeah.
how do we get a clean win? How does
Without
Chelsea
any
get
oof.
any haircuts? Well, listen, I wish we could answer those questions, man. You know what I mean? I wish we can. We basically need to. We need to defend well. Like as long as we switched on and Sanchez is not playing,
Yeah.
if Sanchez is not playing, we'll win the game, my brother. And
Yeah,
look,
we'll win,
I know I'm kind of being unfair on him as well because he has been performing like good in some games recently. He was really good against
Yeah,
Brentford, but then we let Mbuemo come in. He was good against I think another team as well, and then recently he wasn't even bad
yeah.
against Fulham, bro. Until he passed that ball almost to Muniz, I think it was, or someone.
Until he hoofed it, bro.
No, no, it's before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hoof. It's before the hoof because I remember someone passing it
Oh,
to
because
him.
it was because was it when Tosin was dropping back and he decided to still
He tried to pass it to him and then he passed
try
it
to
to
get the ball.
Tosin or
Yeah,
someone and it
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it literally just
Hmm.
I'm like, oh don't be don't. But it's like for me it's like we need to make sure we just get our goals early and then we can actually
Hmm.
control games. Like, especially if we
Hmm.
keep the ball like we do a lot of the time. We can. It's just you can always guarantee that we may concede a goal somehow, some way. So your 3-1
Oh,
actually sounds good.
100%.
But if I look at how poor Ipswich were against Arsenal the other day, then it's like, well, I'm being a bit, I'm being a bit weird by saying 3-1 because it was like they were there have no attack, and that was
Yeah, yeah,
even I think that game he didn't play Omari Hutchinson.
yeah. I think Omar Hutchinson came on as a sub. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, he came on as a
if I'm not
sub
mistaken.
later on,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, he's not playing. That's how much I was like, because they didn't even get out their own half. They let them have the ball the whole time, which could also be
yeah.
a problem for us because it's low block. They could have the double
Hmm.
low block, and it's like a long day for us. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
For me, 3-0. I think you said 3-1. So
Yeah.
let's quickly speak a bit about potential January transfer window, or whatever, before we end the stream. And I read a tweet earlier, yeah, about us being linked to Kola Mwani. Yeah.
Oh God.
I was like,
This
nah.
guy.
You know, with
No.
Chelsea admire, I was like, nah, bro. Nah, don't bring me another failed wonder kid or something. You know, like, bro,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
But
One of them
cool,
ones,
like,
bro.
cause just the thing, yeah. You can actually, I hear like some of the people say, yo, he might be good and he has talent and whatever, but it's like, bro, that's not what we need now.
Hmm.
Like, we don't need another youngster who can play up front. Because
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's a striker or something, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a striker. And like, I've seen him play. Like, he missed. Bro, listen, since he missed that 1v1 against Martinez in the World Cup final, I never rated him, bro. Like, I don't even watch him like that. But it's like, when I see him, it's
yeah,
like, even at PSG, no one speaks about him, bro. Because remember, they
yeah.
got Barcola, who not everyone really
And they got
rates
Gonzalo.
because he's on and off.
Yeah,
Remember, he's sometimes hot, sometimes cold. Like you don't always get consistency out of him. Yeah. Then you
yeah,
also have, um, what's his name? You also have Asad Barcola. You have Dembele, and it's like they have other players that even Vitinha midfield or whatever. So even cool, he might
yeah,
not
yeah,
get the shine, but what does he actually do though? Like, because
hmm,
we need someone that's clinical. Like, I
yeah.
know I'm screaming Rory Del. Like, well, I think his name was his name Liam Delap or whatever. Yeah,
Liam Delap, yeah,
because I can always mention his dad's name for some reason, but it's
yeah,
because he used to do the long throws, isn't it? But
yeah. Because with the towel
with
and
the
that with the
style, yeah,
towel is
yeah, yeah,
already
with the
big.
towel. But it's like for me, I'm looking at it like, cool. We need someone who either has Premier League experience or even if he doesn't, is clinical, because that
Yeah,
can help us get through like over the line in games that s- we might not, we're not playing well or we haven't got enough chances. We can go for let's move the ball, yeah, and give us a
yeah,
different option from a Jackson who is more link up and whatever. And then when he gets in the box, he can get his goals as well. Like I want the player that he becomes like a number two to Jackson, or the other way around. I don't mind in it, as long as the player that's coming in
Mhm.
is clinical and
Mhm.
is a different profile to Jackson. So maybe
Yeah.
I remember, because remember we used to have like a Morata on the, was it Morata and then you had Giroud, or was it, that's no, that's even after that. That was like a Abraham
No,
and Giroud.
yeah. Tam Abraham and
And then
Giroud.
Giroud was like the guy who
Yeah,
was
yeah,
slow. Because for me, you could start Abraham, he had energy, whatever, but he wasn't always clinical, right? He did score like 14
yeah,
goals or
yeah, yeah.
15 goals. But once he came off, Giroud was slow, but he would finish. He would get that.
Mhm.
He might miss that first chance when he gets close. Second chance, he'll get a goal. And it was like,
Yeah,
cool. But I always learned it's a weird one. It's a bit like FIFA. Don't start a Giroud from the
yeah,
beginning. Remember, don't start a Giroud from the
yeah.
beginning. Like, as in, don't give him 90 minutes, innit? So if he comes on, he'll give you that really good 20 minutes when he can hoof the ball, he can
Yeah.
do whatever you want. He's a threat. But throughout the whole game, you'll miss that pressing and you miss some of the things that you
Mhm.
might need from someone playing in that position. So I don't want to be linked to no random youngster, bro. You know what I mean? Right
Yeah.
now in January, we've always been linked to Murillo from Nottingham Forest, but then again, I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, which doesn't make sense because we got the Sass. I mean, we got Badiashile, we got Colwell on that left-hand
Mhm.
side so far. I don't know if anyone else leaves from that left-hand side in terms of like a Badiashile or whatever, but we need more right-sided centre backs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like a right-sided centre back helps because our left-hand side isn't as bad as everyone says, especially
Yeah.
with
Cause yeah, yeah.
we already have Vega, we have Cucurella on the left backs, and then we have Cole's good. Get us another right sided centre. Because Tosin seems to
Yeah.
be more like he's more like a temporary fix.
Yeah.
He was free,
Well,
he
cause
done his
we
thing.
got him for free.
Exactly. So it's like I don't know exactly. For me, it's a striker and get me another centre back and a goalkeeper, bro. You see this goalkeeper, because at least
Mhm.
if we got rid of Sanchez in terms of he's on the bench, and we played Jurgensen, yeah, and Jurgensen balled out, we don't need to look for another goalkeeper.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
the time to kind of try it. If he's not good enough, keep Sanchez. Either get
Mhm.
someone in January or get us a Manion or whatever in the summer. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause that's what I'm thinking as well. I think I want to wait for the goalkeeper. To be honest, I think I want to wait until summer because I don't think there's no good team is gonna let their goalkeeper go in January, especially if they're number one, and that's what we're looking for as a number one. So I'm thinking for the goalkeeper, I would want to just play Jorgensen, have Sanchez be on the bench. Um, Honestly, I would play Petrovic over Sanchez. I don't know why. I don't know why we're out, but here we are. But like,
Bro,
I would.
we're back
This
in
guy
it.
Sanchez,
I
bro.
swear we're
Because the thing
back.
about Sanchez, right? Like the thing about Sanchez is like he can have a good performance. He's never in the middle. It's always he's prime Buffon or he's the worst goalkeeper you've ever seen. There's no in the middle with Sanchez.
Yeah,
So
Sanchez.
I
Yeah,
think I'd
yeah,
rather.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Either
Yeah,
he looks so sick and he like maybe they're right. Let's just that's what happens in the first couple of games. Remember? But then I saw how he reacted against Brighton when he faced his own fan
yeah,
base and they were getting on to him and then he was just
yeah,
passing him the ball. And it was like, what if he goes to the Burnabout, bro? Because remember,
yeah, yeah,
if we get into the Champions League, we're used to go the way our draws always work. We will face big boy teams, yeah. And if
yeah.
they
We'll
turn
we'll
on us,
face Real
how will he
Madrid.
react?
Yeah.
So you
Hmm.
would want to have a good goalie. So for me, I agree with you with waiting to the summer, but he needs to
Yeah.
kind of act on that in terms of at
Yeah.
least find out how good Jurgensen really is, right?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
try him out, see how he is. Is he good enough or not? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's like
Yeah.
that's the bit that I'm always thinking about, and I'm like, bro, I'm not sure, man. You know what I mean? What a goalkeeper, not a goalkeeper, but if they see a goalkeeper that we can have, that's good enough. Get him.
Yeah.
I spoke to Zia
Like
because I
my
think
yeah.
because Zia told me Kobel's a good goalkeeper, and we've been linked to him as well, which is the Dortmund
Mhm.
goalkeeper. Yeah,
Oh, Kobo. Yeah, Kobo.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
linked to him, and apparently our hierarchy or the board or someone or the sporting directors thinks he might be one of the best goalkeepers in the future, whatever. Bro, it's all
Hmm.
data science and data and all that.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know what ChatGPT is telling them, bro. But listen, no, it's not. Don't base everything on ChatGPT in it. That's my thing.
yeah, yeah,
Don't base everything on that. But yeah, man, I think
yeah. I think,
goalkeeper,
yeah, yeah.
100%, man. Like you said, like
No,
for that's what I want to try, innit? Because then summer you can either get one that's out there, or you can get, because this is a strange one, bro. Because even if you get money on, I don't even know how old he is, bro. I think he's 28 or something,
yeah.
isn't
No,
he?
because I want a top goalkeeper. I don't want because we have six goalkeepers in the system regardless. So you can't just give me another number and expect it to like work out. I think for me,
Oh, he's
I want
29.
so that's the
Mm,
perfect age for me. Just like, and then we can have Slonina be the backup when he becomes ready. We can have all of our young goalkeepers because we have
exactly.
multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want like so it has to be a world class. So for me, I want either Manya or I want Diogo Costa from Porto
Yeah.
because he's less mistake. He's way less mistake prone, and he's still good on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Either of those two options. And honestly, for me, there's no price limit. If you want to pay 60 mil for a goalkeeper, I don't care. But if it's those two, because we need to fix that problem. I think same thing. Uh, in January, I think if we can get a good right-sided center back, I'm hearing Diamande shouts, but I want an older center back. I don't want like oh he's good on the ball, but he's 22, but he makes mistakes, which is literally Diamande's profile. Um, that's his whole profile, bro.
Psych.
Like every,
You know what I mean?
you
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
you watch you listen to people who watch sporting talk about Diamande, and they're literally like, "Yep, he's young, he's good on the ball, he makes progressive passes, but he makes mistakes because he's a teenager." That's how it's.
Yeah,
And I
man,
don't
I
I don't
know
want
no
any more
sad
of that.
was
We have
watching Monday, blood, because it's the Benfica lost against Stiga, I think. Benfica lost against Sporting. You know what I mean? He was watching it, because that's,
so yeah, like yeah, that's
yeah,
I like so for me, I think it has to be an older center back who has
yeah.
experience. Doesn't have to be crazy, but like not for free. Like just like a older center back. I can't even think of a name right now. And then I want to get a striker that is older. Same thing with you. I agree with everything about the striker in terms of like experienced striker. I want a poacher that can play when Jackson's not playing well.
Mm.
Headers, finishing, all that. Still with the first touch, but he doesn't necessarily have to, I guess, dribble as much as Jackson does. That's probably the thing that I'm willing to sacrifice. So like he doesn't because Jackson is really a winger turned striker. I want more of a profile to where like they're a professional goal scorer
Yeah,
type
you
thing.
want ST,
Um,
centre forward. That's what you want.
Instead of forward. That's
My,
just that's just what I want because
I
we
just
have
don't want
people
Osherman,
who can
though.
play that.
You see me?
No,
There's
I don't want Oshman.
something
I
that's
don't want
telling
Oshman.
me do not get Osherman, because if you watch him and you see a striker that has got no first touch, no this, no that, he literally just is like a fox in the box. But at least Vardy had the
Yeah,
first touch. Because
yeah,
they're all like the Vardy disciples, them kind of strikers that wait right at the edge of
yeah.
just running behind. That's why I used to call him
Hmm.
the Fufu Watkins. He's literally Watkins, yeah, from Nigeria, bro.
No, it's real though. It's real.
But it's like
No,
he's
because
just a different version. He's
like
taller.
yeah.
He's a aerial threat. Can actually finish like with strikers. This is the thing with strikers. They have like unorthodox ways of finishing, right? So the
Hmm.
ball might just come in the box and he would just swing his leg or whatever. It doesn't matter as
And it
long
was
as
just
that ball
going.
goes towards
Hmm.
goal, right? They just think about how can I hit the ball to get it towards that direction. So in that moment, he
Hmm.
might do an overhead kick. He might do this and that. These are things wingers don't do when they play up front, because they're looking
Hmm.
at how can I curl it bottom corner and da da da. And also like our
They're trying to
wingers.
make it look pretty. Yeah, yeah,
The thing is, we have another thing. Sancho is not a goal scorer, bro. This is
yeah.
another thing people don't understand. Sancho is a the way he plays is more of a link player, so he's not a running behind
Hmm.
winger either. So even if you have like a Jackson dropping in deep, right, with those strikers that drop in like a Giroud, they used to just lay off the ball to someone, right, like a I don't
Hmm.
know, like a Fabregas or a Hazard or whatever,
No,
and then
because that
they
worked
spray
better
the
because
balls out
Hazard wasn't
wide,
left.
right?
Yeah.
By the
Hmm.
time the wingers go up and whatever, the striker gets himself into the box, and it's almost like perfect
Yeah.
time arrival, and then he just taps it in or finishes it, right? This is exactly what Xerxes is, that striker you play in the middle who does that. The
Hmm.
problem is that they're playing that United, let's say United just playing long balls. As soon as he gets the ball, passes it, Bruno just hoofs it all of a sudden the ball's gone back to the fence and he's just standing in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as a striker, cool. The problem is, even if we get him, we're kind of wasting him because a lot of
mm-hmm.
the teams you playing against are not gonna play a high line against us.
Yes.
So having that space in behind it, having like someone, that's why I wanted Ivan Tony. He
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, he was almost like Jackson 2.0 with better finishing and Premier League
Yeah.
experience, and he's a link man. And he used to be remember he used to link with Mbuemo and Wissa up front. So he used to play two up top, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Mbuemo I think in the 10 or in the right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like he's playing that. He could score free kicks. He could score this and that. Obviously, let's forget about Tony
Score
because he's
penalties.
gone. But it's like at the time in the summer, I wanted him, and I thought Jackson can learn from someone like Tony, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he leaves, even though he's a bit older, if he ends up leaving, Jackson can take the reign. Because
Mm-hmm.
especially last season, Jackson took so much stick, and then you were like,
Yeah.
that especially with the striker, are we gonna get like another Timo Werner kind of guy who's was clinical for some reason, but his confidence can't get up again. Because remember, strikers need
Mm-hmm.
confidence. That's another thing.
Yeah,
Besides
yeah,
chance creation, you also need confidence. But you can always tell
yeah.
when a striker has confidence, is just rubbish, which is like a Nunes
Yeah.
or Hoyland, right? They might not create 20 chances, but they're not scoring, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need someone that's clinical. And then it's like,
Yeah.
if he has good football fundamentals, it will help in terms of we'll get our
Yeah.
clinical bit, but he also not going to be. Because imagine, we're moaning about Nkunku. He's
Yeah.
technically really good on the
Mhm.
ball, yeah? But we only were
Mhm.
annoyed about just because he doesn't press. So imagine if you get a
Yeah.
guy that has no other abilities, but except for finishing.
Then scoring.
You if
Yeah.
he's gonna become a nuisance, not to the defenders, to us. You know, you know what I mean? When you watch it, you're gonna be like, bro,
Yeah.
keep moving. Da, 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 da. So you want to play that's it, playing to certain positions and doing certain things anyway. And for me, striker, I
Yeah.
think for me, if you put it priority wise, for me it's goalkeeper, striker, and then it's oh no goalkeeper, centre back, then striker. As
Sure.
much as I
Yeah.
want a striker, I think that's probably more preference than how much we need him. Does that
Yeah.
kind of make sense? We don't need him as
Yeah.
bad, but it's good to have an addition, right? Because we
Mhm.
don't know yet whether whether Jackson's form is just a purple patch and he's gonna go back to last season, or has he actually improved? Because you only learn this over time, right?
Yeah.
And was he lucky, and was he just scoring those goals because he's lucky, or is it because he's actually good? Sometimes you
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
over time with certain things. So,
Mhm.
yeah, man. I wanted to go over some of this because, bro, when I saw the Colin White, I was like, oh my days, bro.
Yeah.
But then again,
Some of the people we're linked with is
we
just yeah.
have doubted this ownership before, right?
Mhm.
With the Duran thing and the Omaridion thing.
Oh, I would have wished I had Duran right. Imagine we
Because
had
now
Duran
I
right
would
now.
take Duran, Like, listen, the
Yeah.
mad thing is, I've worked at
100%.
Aston Villa, yeah, and I used to hear about some guy called Duran. They used to tell us, "Oh,
Yeah.
there's a guy we got, or whatever. He's Duran." I used to walk past it and I'd see him sitting on the bench. I'm like, bro, who's this? And he never gets opportunities because I was there
Mhm.
before Gerard.
Mhm.
So I worked there. I think Dean Smith was the manager, if you remember him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went. So I think around that time I started working for them, and then that game they put me in the stands. Yeah, by the away fans. I think was it the away fans? No. I think it may have been the away fans or home fans. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then what they do is they put all the stewards in a line. I was
Yeah.
doing the steward thing at the time, and
Mhm.
that was the game against West Ham. Someone got sent off for West Ham. Moyes was there at the time. They lost that game against West Ham, and everyone wanted him sacked.
Mhm.
So where all the West Ham fans wanted him sacked. No, sorry, all the Villa fans wanted D Smith sacked. Then
Yeah.
they announced Gerrard, and then that first game of the season was Brighton. And
Mhm.
I went, I worked. That's the time I worked in like the executive boxes and all that, which is like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I worked in the main reception, the biggest one they had over there, and I worked over there. And I think that name is when what's his name again? Leon Bailey invited Usain Bolt to watch a game. Because
Oh, yeah.
remember, there's
Yeah.
some. It's weird. Like they have this PR stunts thing, bro. It's like when they have like a thing coming out or they're doing something, they start traveling the world. Right,
Hmm.
you'll see Kevin Hart in England and in America and
Yeah.
other ones. You know what I mean? And it's like he had, I don't know if I think he was doing an advert with like Virgin Media or whatever, which is like a
Yeah.
TV. It's like I think it's
It's
Richard
we have it in
Branson's.
Canada.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Richard
we
Branson's
have Virgin
company where
Media.
then he has the whole trains and then he had the trains and all that in England. I don't know what he has in other countries. And I think he used to do the advert where he used to run past the train or some rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he came to
Those ones.
film something, and then I think because he's Jamaican, Leon Bailey invited him to a game or whatever at the time, and he was there, innit? Bro, I've never seen someone walk as fast like walk as fast as him. That's crazy. Because remember, he's tall, yeah, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's like 2 steps. Remember, the lift is over there. Two
Yeah.
steps, he's in front of me. I was like, what? And I'm at the
Mhm.
door, like, I was like, yo, he's. But yeah, I spoke to him for a bit. Proper cool, brother. But it's like his
Mhm.
that the little V class Mercedes that they jump into, the little buses that was outside, and they had to get him out because he was there for too long. So I didn't really get no pictures of that. But I met him. He was
Yeah.
actually a
Yeah.
cool brother. Yeah, and it's like that game they played Brighton. I think actually on someone else scored. But I didn't really. We used to watch the games, but not really watch the games. So like I used to go
Mhm.
there. We used to let everyone in, all the customers, all the fans, basically, like search them or whatever. Because I used to do security. Once
Mhm.
everyone comes in at a certain time, no one else comes in. No,
Yeah.
it's not like we don't let people in. They just everyone's already in because executive boxes and that hospitality starts way earlier before a game. So if it's
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
3 o'clock UK kickoff time, it's like 12:30. We open the doors like
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
hour
Yeah.
before. So usually, like the fans in the stadium actually come like 10 minutes before the game, half an hour before the game. But those boxes, because they eat food and X, Y, and Z, or might have like a meeting or whatever, they come earlier. So I think we used to let everyone in. The game would start. Literally, I'd turn on the TV and watch the game. I used to watch three
That's
Premier
funny.
League games. So I used to watch the game. Second off, everyone that smokes used to come back downstairs to go out and smoke, and then come back in.
Mhm.
And then they'll go back upstairs, and then second half, you probably eating your lunch or something, watching the game, and we'll just
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sure no one that isn't supposed to be up there ends up trying to get in, which happens all the time.
Mhm.
A kid will come up to
Yeah.
you and be like, "My mum's upstairs. Can you let me in?" These times he's just trying to meet his friend's family who's upstairs, but he ain't got a
Yeah.
ticket. And I mean, but it's like it's cool. So like we used to do that, but and then over time, obviously last season, let's when we go back to the football thing,
Mhm.
you go and look all the time, and it's like we were linked to like kids all the time. Now for me, it was
Yeah.
more okay. Look, I get that you're trying to buy potential players with potential and stuff. I hear it, but it's like when are you gonna be able to differentiate between players that you want to add to your first team and people not in the first team? Because we're in a position
Mhm.
now where that Poch season pushed us back a year, right?
Mhm.
Or potentially from starting with Poch, because our aim was top four, then trying to get the league. Now
Yeah.
being in the race, kind of, it's almost like we're back on track because of how good we were. Yeah, we
Mhm.
caught up.
Yeah.
But in the summer when you looked at it, it was like, but what are we gonna do? Because I don't like the way this is kind of going in terms of like, I'm not seeing us link to anyone that is of any use to us.
Yeah.
Right, you
Yeah.
used to link the this kid over here, Alvarez, or for a minute, then it's this guy. But then obviously I was like, I hear that you want to do that business thing on the side. I call it the side hustle, yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
buy all these little kids and then we're gonna send
Strasbourg
them.
business. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
do that and then whatever that could make us money, could join the first team, whatever, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, but we need first team players.
Yeah.
We weren't getting that at the time. I was like, okay, cool. We obviously got linked to Amaradian, who I still kind of not. I'm not really with him, like. But when I
Mhm.
watch Duran, bro, I done a watch along
Yeah.
for Aston Villa and Leipzig. Oh my lord, bro! The way he
No, I
strikes
was.
that ball,
Yeah.
he literally he chipped and done a power shot at the same time, bro.
Yeah. I saw that. I
Bro,
saw
I
that.
know
I
it's like
remember that. That
FIFA.
was
Occasionally,
insane.
you can get those on FIFA, yeah, where you have hold L2 and do the R1 circle, yeah, and then you can get the power on the curve in it. Like it
Mhm.
really curves. His thing was like up and went down, and he was
Yeah.
powerful. And I was like, what? And I realized, okay, cool. He has good ball striking. Because remember, we haven't seen a lot of him really, right? Especially because he's on the bench a lot. So unless you end up going back and watching games of
Mhm.
of 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 uh, Aston Villa games back to see how he plays when he plays, you don't really see him
Mhm.
often, innit? So it's like, cool. How can I see more of him? I started
Yeah.
watching him more and more, yeah, and I'm like, every game I watch him, he gets a goal. One way or
Mhm.
another, he gets a goal. And because
Yeah.
he's a threat from outside the box, which Jackson isn't, and actually reading
Mhm.
about it, I've realized Jackson's not a threat in the box, really. Like, if because man, but for striker, he's not really a threat in the
Mhm.
box. He's not an area
Yeah.
threat. He's not a threat from
Mhm.
outside the box.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of ticks boxes he doesn't tick, but his
Mhm.
IQ and his way of playing ticks a lot of other boxes that other players don't
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
So there's a balance of both where you think, okay, cool, he's actually good, but then he also has other things. But then every player has that, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think like I was thinking the same thing about Duran, like of wanting him. Because like for me at the beginning, I was like I was at the same thing. I was hating on Duran. I was like, yo, I don't want Duran. I was like, who is this guy? And then I saw him like the first couple games of the season, and I was like, yeah, I made a mistake. I don't watch ball for real. Because like I was really looking at it, and I was like, because for me personally, I think our striking problem could be we can do the same thing as the Ollie Watkins, Durant thing at Aston Villa. But the thing is like our we I think Jackson is better than Ollie Watkins. So I
Yeah,
feel like if we had
no,
like a two-headed monster with Duran, I feel like that would have been perfect. But I think I didn't have enough foresight for that. But
don't
for me personally, it's the same
exactly.
thing. Where like we need a finish. We need a finisher. Like my because my pick was Garassi. I wanted Garassi or I wanted Taremi. These guys were both good in the air. Garassi's at Dortmund
Yeah,
now,
yeah, he went to
tearing it
Dortmund.
up.
I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it was Stuttgart. We even wanted Stuttgart's manager, Honis, for a little while before we got
Yeah,
Pareska.
yeah, yeah.
They scored a bunch of goals over there, and then we were linked with the Garassi as well. Um, so yeah, I think for me, I just want that same prototype of ball striker, header, first touch.
Because
You don't really need
Duran,
anything
bro,
else,
it's
really.
like in some ways it's too late to get Duran. And
Yeah,
what I mean by that is like he's kind of his value is gone
he's
way more than what
they're
the
not selling him for anything less than 80 because they're
yeah. And
selling
then knowing
because think
our
about it, you're selling
owners,
Isak
they
for yeah
might not look at that. Like our owners might look at
yeah
that and say, I'm not sure about trying to spend that much money." But at the same time, they've been saying things about his behavior or something.
oh yeah
They're
like
saying
his
that
yeah
yeah, his
his
behavior and
attitude
his attitude. But for me, those kind of players always have attitude, bro. A guy who
hmm
hits the shot from outside the box like that, bro, is gonna have some kind of attitude.
yeah to be
He's
honest
gonna have
yeah
something wrong with him. Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like, okay, cool. He is. Look, he is. For me, I think maybe he's too late, but it kind of made me seeing that in the season. Because also with young players, it's like you're not guaranteed to know what they're gonna be like. So instead of getting like a
hmm
proven or someone better, which is what you said about the centre back thing, you might get another defender and he might cost us games, and now we have to wait all the way to January. Season slightly wasted. Do you know what I mean? With a
hmm
striker, it's like cool. I'll get a striker, yeah, but it's like what am I getting, bro? You know, you know what I mean? What
yeah
am I
yeah
getting?
yeah yeah
Okay,
yeah
so when we got linked to all these strikers, I was like, are they just trying to see which ones they can get out of a bunch of strikers, youngsters, probably potentially high rated, that we could flip later on? Or are you getting them because you think they actually suit the squad as well? Which is another thing you
hmm
need to think about. Now, seeing it from after now and then seeing Duran back and seeing that Meridian scoring,
Rodio yeah
yeah, even though I think he's on like a hot streak thing, is a bit like Nunes,
yeah yeah
where they've got their 30 goals a season or whatever they're gonna get, but he might not be as consistent over his whole
yeah
career as we see it.
hmm
But Duran looks like he doesn't need ice to know where the goal is. He knows where the goal is,
hmm
you know, and he's a bit more natural. But it's like when I seen that we were linked to those players and we lost out on them, it was like, you know what, you do know what you're doing,
yeah
especially after they end up getting a Neto without us knowing and a Sancho without us knowing, which is the
hmm
level of players that can actually play for Chelsea and should be playing for Chelsea. Those are the level of players that we want at the club. Another one's Palmer.
hmm
I mean, not us not
yeah
expecting Palmer getting a Palmer, so that's kind of allowed me to trust them a bit more than I would have done in that season. So I'm like, cool. If you want to get
yeah
someone, fine. but you also don't want to waste an opportunity. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. You don't want to be wasting opportunities when it comes to the transfer
Yeah,
window and that. So
yeah.
yeah, man. That's the only ones, man. For me, those are the three positions that I think we need. Like, other than
No,
that,
100%.
if Esteval comes in and Madueke ends up being the one that leaves or whatever, then it is what it is. Or they all fight for their position and that. But then we still got Gui,
Hmm.
who is slowly turning, showing us why he was a Barcelona player at the time, in terms of not
Yeah,
just his hat trick he scored, which is 3 goals, but his pressing, and he's slowly
his movements.
understanding with movement and stuff. Where in the beginning we was like, bro, he no way he was at Barca, you know. But you see, we were like, bro, he was at Barca. Do you know what I mean? He was like, was it his name or what is it? Why was he at Barca, bro? But it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You kind of understand it anyway. He was like, yeah, I understand that. But yeah, man, look, I thought, because I told you, yo, you asked me, yo, we need to do something together. I was like, you know what? Let's force this thing, in terms of let's try and get it done. You know what I mean? Try to get
Yeah.
it done so you end up doing it. And hopefully,
Hmm.
knowing that this whole thing that I've tried doing works, you know what I mean? I've tested it on you, basically. You know what I mean? I've seen it
Yeah,
really works. And
yeah,
it's a bit different to StreamYard, because this is the thing: StreamYard just works. Like, you
yeah.
go log into it and then it just brings you in and whatever. But I thought, yo, let
Hmm.
me try this. If it works, then we'll do a like more, because I know a lot of people that want to do thingy, and if I end up doing a panel show or whatever, I'll always hit you up, bro. Because I always
Oh,
need
of course, bro.
another Chelsea on my side. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can start
Oh,
bringing
every
on
time.
these other rivals, bro, and it's fighting. But it's
Mhm.
good, man. Big up to you. Um,
Big up, big up.
big up,
Thanks for
bro,
having me
and
on, bro.
nice having you on. Chat. If you haven't slapped the like, slap the likes before we end the stream. And yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, bro. We've done like an hour, almost hour 20 minutes. Um,
Jeez.
like the video if you haven't like done it yet. Subscribe, if you haven't. Obviously, with the likes, bro, it just helps the channel grow. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of sharing it to more people. More people can see the channel. We can grow the community, bro. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, subscribe if you haven't. And when it comes to the subscription, if you sorry, when you click subscribe, if you change that from personalized to all, you actually get notifications when the person is on live, which is what I've kind of start to realize in terms of when I've done it. I've heard that it kind of automatically goes to personalized. So I think if it thinks you're
Yeah,
interested
yeah,
in the video, it'll send you a notification. But I've got so many people telling me that I didn't know you were live. Like, I've realized I've missed your life, and I'm like, just make sure you got that changed to all, or do that to any other YouTubers or people that you watch that you feel like you're missing their videos. Just make sure you change that to subscribe. Obviously, big up for Northside for the raid. Unfortunately, Benfica couldn't, do their job. No
yeah.
minerals. Yeah,
Tough one.
hopefully we can do our job in it, because I know Northside's gonna end up bringing up this whole. He's gonna make us part of his one stream a day. Holiday. You know what he's
Yeah.
gonna do? He's gonna do that match reaction Chelsea Ipswich. Yeah,
Oh,
and then yeah, and then if we don't win the game, we have to go there.
no, he's
And
gonna clip my 3-1. He's gonna be like, "Yo, remember?" He's like, "Yo, Timmy, remember 3-1, eh?" That's definitely what he's doing, bro.
especially since he ended up coming, he must have seen some of it, so we might end up. He might have clipped us. But yeah, man, look, big up to you all, big up to the chat, big up to Northside's here and all the man them in the chat. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got the Ipswich Chelsea game that I'm gonna do a watch along in, and come and join us, man. I've already scheduled the stream anyway, so just let us know. And yeah, man, like I said again, big up to my guy Timmy. You ain't got the channel or anything, have you?
Actually, no, I do. Well, it's just my name, Timmy Akindele. So I could probably send you the link, and then you could just put it on the video
Oh yeah,
type
yeah.
thing. But
So
it's just spelled Timi, and then Akindele is my last name. So
yeah, so if
yeah,
you send me the link
yeah,
or put it in the chat, I can also add it to the title so people can see on the title, bro.
yeah. Let me just get that. Usually I used to do other things. I used to like I used to do vlogs and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start doing some more Chelsea focused stuff like um, football focused
But
stuff.
you see, this is the thing. I need my channel on my name so I can do whatever I want on it. If I
Hmm.
called it like the blue whatever, then it would be like more Chelsea orientated or football orientated, right? Then
Yeah.
I can do, which I done a couple weeks ago or whatever that was. I done the Usyk fight. I don't know what channel for the Usyk fight, the Tyson Fury Usyk boxing fight that was on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like I can kind of go out a little bit. I'm trying not to go too out of sports in this like channel, but I'm probably gonna create another channel where I do more cars stuff and all that thing because I'm really into cars or whatever as well. So I thought you can do that, do shorts and all these other things on cars, and kind of separate that because it's hard to mix football and cars in terms of on the
Yeah,
same channel because I don't want to confuse the viewers and stuff when it comes to that as well. So
hundred
when
percent.
I get that done and sorted, I'll drop everyone I'll put a post out and get it all sorted. But just also like you said you got the channel, just drop it in the chat in the live chat if you see it,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
then I'll tell the people in the chat to subscribe to you. I'll put it in in the title, and then we also just I'll have everyone's channels in my description as well. So anyone that wants to subscribe to anyone in the subscription, is that your account as well? Like, is this your actual
Yeah,
account as
yeah,
well? So that means I
yeah,
can
yeah.
just click
This is
on it.
this is the link I just put in the live chat.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can go to channel and subscribe. Yeah, me versus Chick-fil-A. Okay, yeah. You got it. No, but the good thing is, yeah, that you actually have like home and videos. A lot of people don't have this, like where it shows the recommended videos and stuff in it on their channel.
Yeah.
So let me just grab this link real quick. Copy. Just subscribe to you as well, by the way, bro. Just give you a quick subscribe. To
Thanks,
everyone
bro.
in the chat, if
Thanks,
you
bro.
here want to subscribe to Timmy, Chelsea fan, click on that link, subscribe to him. And then I'll add this later in the chat because then it will allow me to put your name in the thing. I'll do that after the stream ends anyway. Um,
Get that.
anyway, big up to all the people watching us. Big up to Timmy again. And yeah, man, we'll see you into the next one, bro. Peace.
Yeah. Peace, peace.
Peace, big up.